I stood and watched the embers die, the smoke rise thin and gray, from pathways I had built myself, now turning to decay. That bridge to my old bitterness, I finally let it go. The want of validation from the faces in the show, the span that led to compromise, that rickety, weak thing. I heard its final timbre in the darkness crack and sing, and in that fiery severing, that necessary end, I felt a startling loneliness, like I had lost a friend. For even toxic certainties can feel like solid ground, and burning your own exit leaves you waiting, looking round for what comes next, when all you've known is turning into ash. A silence after conflict, a momentary crash. Blessed are the bridges burned, the pathways I can't take, the doors that close with finality for heaven's own sake. Blessed is the holy severing that felt like a defeat, that left me on the lonely bank with nowhere to retreat. For here with no retreat, I finally lift my eyes and see the road you paved for me beneath the open skies. Blessed are the bridges burned that led me to this shore, and to the one who is the way and builds us forevermore. The fire was protection, the loss was really gain, a painful kind of surgery to sever me from pain. And now the view is clearer, with those old structures gone. I see the dawn you're bringing, the true road I'm upon. It's not a well-worn highway, it's a path just for my feet, a trail of trust and manna, of dependence, slow and sweet. There is no turning backwards to what was small and confined. The blaze has made a clearing in the forest of my mind. You are my only passage now, my crossing and my rail, the promise that my story will not falter or fail. Where I once saw an ending, a destructive, fearful night, I see the necessary space for you to be my light. So I'll thank you for the matches, and I'll thank you for the flame, for the courage to let go of what was harming me by name, for every tide that found me to a shore that wasn't home, for every false foundation that the fire has overcome. The phoenix aims in to see its truth within the soul, that sometimes resurrection must begin with losing control, and watching every safety net you'd woven from your pride turn to smoke, so you alone can be the place I hide. That you are the only way across the deep and into day. stood and watched the embers die, the smoke rise thin and gray from pathways I had built myself, now turning to decay. That bridge to my old bitterness, I finally let it go. The one to validation from the faces in the show. The span that led to compromise, that rickety weak thing. I heard its final timber in the darkness crack and sing. And in that fiery severing, that necessary end, I felt a startling loneliness, like I had lost a friend. For even toxic certainties can feel like solid ground, and burning your own exit leaves you waiting, looking round for what comes next, when all you've known is turning into ash. A silence after conflict, a momentary crash. With those old structures gone, I see the dawn you're bringing, the true road I'm upon. It's not a well-worn highway, it's a path just for my feet. A trail of trust and manna, of dependence slow and sweet. There is no turning backwards to what was small and confined. The blaze has made a clearing in the forest of my mind. You are my only passage now, my crossing and my rail. The promise that my story will not falter or fail. Where I once saw an ending, a destructive, fearful night, I see the necessary space for you to be my light. So I'll thank you for the matches, and I'll thank you for the flame, for the courage to let go of what was harming me by name, for every tie that bound me to a shore that wasn't home, for every false foundation that the fire has overcome. The phoenix isn't fantasy, it's truth within the soul, that sometimes resurrection must begin with losing control, and watching every safety net you'd woven from your pride turn to smoke, so you alone can be the place I hide. Blessed the burn, blessed to learn that you are the only way across the deep and in today. The bridge is you forever true. The master cabinet maker doesn't hide the dovetail joints, the subtle, skillful evidence of all his careful points. They're not considered flaws there in the grain of oak and pine, but the signature of patience, a respectful, quiet line. And I've been hiding all my seams, the places where I'm splashed, the scars of old adjustments, the wood that was sacrificed. I've called them ugly failures, these witness marks of change, and tried to send them featureless, to send them smooth and strange. But every plane and chisel blow that shaped me to the frame left its own unique impression, and I'm learning not to blame the carpenter for working for the pressure he applied to make the raw material where his spirit would abide. These are my witness marks, not failures etched in stone, but proof of where the truth slipped, where I wasn't yet my own. The scratches on the surface, the grooves cut deep and wide, are where your chisel lingered, where you worked the grain inside. You didn't waste a single cut, a sanding or a blow. Each mark is part of shaping what your eye alone could know. So I'll stop hiding these witness marks, these signs of work in progress. They're the story of the carpenter who loves to clean up messes. They are the map of mercy, the topography of grace, the evidence of holding in this dedicated space. You scouts here, that was anger, deep and splintered, rough and raw. You smoothed it into empathy for others with a flaw. This sanded patch of softness that was pride, once hard as nail, you wore it down to tenderness, a story I can tell. The clam marks that left bruises, the pressure that felt cruel, were holding me together as you applied the glue. Each witness mark a chapter, each tool stroke a line in the autobiography of a design that is now thine. I am not a factory product, perfect from a mold. I am a handcrafted original, a story being told. And when the enemy points, as he loves and lives to do, and says, look at this flaw here, and this warping shining through, I'll smile a quiet smile, and I'll run my hand along the very marks he mocks, and I will turn them into song. This is where he found it, this is where he gripped me tight, this is where the rough was made delightfully right. These are not my shameful secrets, these are my glory scars, the witness marks proving whose handmade creation I are. Witness marks, holy art, from the Maker's heart, in every groove and line, a love divine. I am his handiwork, a masterpiece with quirks. The master cabinet maker doesn't hide the dovetail joints, the subtle, skillful evidence of all his careful points. They're not considered flaws there in the grain of oak and pine, but the signature of patience, a respectful, quiet line. And I've been hiding all my seams, the places where I'm spliced, the scars of old adjustments, the wood that was sacrificed. I've called them ugly failures, these witness marks of change, and tried to sand them featureless, to sand them smooth and strange. But every plane and chisel blow that shaped me to the frame left its own unique impression, and I'm learning not to blame the carpenter for working, for the pressure he applied to make the raw material where his spirit would abide. These are my witness marks, not failures etched in stone, but proof of where the tool slipped, where I wasn't yet my own. Scratches on the surface, the grooves cut deep and wide. Oh, where your chisel lingered, where you worked the grain inside. You didn't waste a single cut, a sanding or a blow. Each mark is part of shaping what your eye alone could know. So I'll stop hiding these witness marks, these signs of work in progress. They're the story of the carpenter who loves to clean up messes. They are the map of mercy, the topography of grace, the evidence of holding in this dedicated space. This gouge here, that was anger, deep and splintered, rough and raw. You smoothed it into empathy for others with a flaw. This sanded patch of softness, that was pride once hard as nail. You wore it down to tenderness, a story I can tell. The clamp marks that left bruises, the pressure that felt cruel, were holding me together as you applied the glue. Each witness marked a chapter, each tool stroke a line in the autobiography of a design that is now thine. I am not a factory product, perfect from a mold. I am a handcrafted original, a story being told. And when the enemy points, as he loves and lives to do, and says, look at this flaw here and this warping shining through, I'll smile a quiet smile and I'll run my hand along the very marks he marks, and I will turn them into song. This is where he found me, this is where he gripped me tight, this is where the rough was made, the lay fully right. These are not my shameful secrets, these are my glory scars, the witness marks proving whose handmade creation I am. Witness mark, holy art, from the maker's heart. In every groove and line, love divine, I am his handiwork. I read of her in wonder, with her perfume rich and rare, the costly fragrant offering she poured out on your head. And I have felt the poverty of my own daily fare, the common plain ingredients of my life seem thin and bare. I have no spice of Arabia, no gold from foreign lands, no prophetic soaring talent to place in your pierced hands. Just an alabaster box of ordinary days, filled with simple obedience and unimpressive ways, the driving to the practice, the reconciling of accounts, the pulling weeds in silence, confronting my own surmounts. It feels so unanointed, this gritty common grind, a poor man's offering, hardly worthy of your mind. But this is my alabaster, this vessel of the plate, holding all the fragments of my joy and of my pain. I break it open now, Lord, at your feet upon this floor, and offer up the fragrance of my nothing special chore, the patience with the toddler, a call to my old friend, the bills paid with a quiet trust, a selfish urge to win. This is the perfume I break open, this common humble oil, the offering of a lived in life, a faithfulness through toil. You don't turn up your nose at it, you breathe it deep and say, this is the worship that will shape eternities today. For you were a carpenter, you knew the smell of wood, the sweat of honest labor, the doing of the good. And common you were common in the world's discerning eyes, no form or comeliness beneath those ordinary skies. So you hollow all the common things, the bread, the wine, the cup, the waking up and showing up, the faithful filling up, the love that makes a dinner when the day's been so long, the choosing of the gentle word, the turning from the wrong. This is the nard of Nazareth, the fragrance of the true, the breaking of a human life to let the divine through. So let my kitchen be a temple, let my office be a shrine, let the school run be a pilgrimage where your grace does align. Let every mundane daily task be seen with heaven's sight as part of the eternal walking through the veil of night. For the alabaster was not praised for being smooth or white, but for being broken open to release its hidden light. So break me open, Jesus, in my ordinary ways. Let my life release a fragrance of unceasing grateful praise. My alabaster, plain and true, broken only for you. The fragrance of the everyday is the finest I can pay. In the ordinary I see extraordinary worth to thee. I read of her and wonder, with her perfume rich and rare, the costly fragrant offering she poured out on your hair. And I have felt the poverty of my own daily fare. The common plain ingredients of my life seem thin and bare. I have no spice of Arabia, no gold from foreign lands, no prophetic soaring talent to place in your pierced hands. Just an alabaster box of ordinary days, filled with simple obedience in unimpressive ways. The driving to the practice, the reconciling of accounts, the pulling weeds in silence, confronting my own surmounts. It feels so anointed, this gritty common grind, a poor man's offering, hardly worthy of your mind. But this is my alabaster, this vessel of the plain, holding all the fragments of my joy and of my pain. I break it open now, Lord, at your feet, upon this floor, and offer up the fragrance of my nothing special chore. The patience with the toddler, a call to my old friend. The bills paid with a quiet trust, a selfish urge to win. This is the perfume I break open, this common humble oil, the offering of a lived-in life of faithfulness through toil. You don't turn up your nose at it, you breathe it deep and say, this is the worship that will shape eternities today. For you were a carpenter, you knew the smell of wood, the sweat of honest labor, the doing of the good. And common, you were common in the world's discerning eyes. No form or comeliness beneath those ordinary skies. So you hallow all the common things, the bread, the wine, the cup, the waking up and showing up, the faithful filling up, the love that makes a dinner when the day has been so long, the choosing of the gentle word, the turning from the wrong. This is the Lord of Nazareth, the fragrance of the true, the breaking of a human life, to let the Let every mundane, daily task be seen with heaven's sight as part of the eternal breaking through the veil of night. For the alabaster was not praised for being smooth or white, but for being broken open to release its hidden light. So break me open, Jesus, in my ordinary ways. Let my life release a fragrance of unceasing grateful praise. My alabaster, plain and true, broken only for you. The fragrance of the everyday is the finest I can pay. In the ordinary I see extraordinary worth to thee. The sun is cutting angles through the blinds this afternoon, illuminating dust motes in a sleepy, quiet room. And in this beam of ordinary, something settles in my chest, a slow unwinding tension, a coming to my rest. It's not a grand announcement, not a trumpet's glorious blast, not the feeling I was chasing in the fervor of my past. It's quieter than triumph, simpler than a solved equation, a silent inner shifting of my spirit's deep foundation. The ledger book I've clutched so tight, the one of right and wrong, its pages seem to soften and the ink is not so strong. It feels a lot like forgiveness, it's quiet in my chest, a letting go of ledger books, a laying down of quests. It's not a flash of lightning, not a feeling warm and bright, but a slow released exhale in the middle of the night, a space between the heartbeats where the accusation fades, and all that's left is mercy, telling older kind of tales. It feels a lot like forgiveness, this gentle settling peace, a permanent release date from a sentence without cease. I'm pardoned by the stillness, by the light upon the floor, by a love that isn't keeping my old inventory anymore. I thought it would feel different, more like falling to my knees, with waves of overwhelming gratitude to bring me to the teeth. But this is more like waking up and finding that a rain has washed the chalky accusations from the sidewalk of my brain. The ghosts of my old failures walk a little lighter now, the chains of condemnation loosened from my brow. It's not that I forget them or pretend they weren't so deep, it's that their power to sweetest stolen piece. For years I sought the fireworks, the emotional display, but you built your home in this soft, uncelebrated day. In the ordinary life that shows the dust and shows the grace, it settled over everything in this ordinary place. Forgiveness wears a work shirt, drinks its coffee, breathes the air, and finds me in the common moments when I'm simply standing there. A lot like forgiveness, quiet, yes. In the soul's address, a settled thing, a song the heart can't sing, and knows is true. A lot like you. The service ended hours ago. The echoes of amen have fled and left me with the hollow where the living words were said. I memorized the promises, I sang the songs of zeal, but in this empty aftermath, the dissonance I feel. The flame that roared this morning is a guttering, weak light, threatened by the slightest breeze of an ordinary night. Not doubt in your existence, but doubt in my own heart that I can play the part assigned or even make a start. I feel a fraud for feeling this, a failure to the core, afraid to knock again upon a door I've knocked before. And when my faith is flickering, a candle in the gust, you don't condemn the dimming, you simply shield the dust. You cup your hands around the flame, you give it space to breathe, a guardian of fragile light in whom I can believe. You don't demand a bonfire on a heart reduced to cold. You're satisfied to kindle just the embers of my soul. When my faith is flickering, too weak for lofty prayer, you just bend down beside me and you meet me there. Not with a fan to whip it, not with a stern rebuke, but with the oil of mercy in a gentle porcelain spout. You speak not of the mountaintops, the visions bold and grand, but of the mustard seed I clenched within my trembling hand. You say that even in its sleep the soil does its work, and in the hidden dormant time no promise goes to shirk. You value not the brilliant blaze that consumes itself in haste. You treasure most the lasting glow, the light that's built to taste. stubborn hope beneath a starless sky. So I will stop my frantic blowing, my efforts to impress, and let your steady breathe alone my flickering face caress. And if it goes out fully, if the final smoke ascends, you are the fire maker who a new flame always sends. A spark struck from the flint of grace, a light no dark can quench. You are the first and final fire upon my heart's cold bench. This flickering is not the end, it's just the nature of the burn. A lesson in reliance, a critical slow turn from my own careful tending to your everlasting match that lights upon my spirit without a single scratch. Flicker, I see you. In the flicker, you are true. A steady, patient glow, growing slow. The service ended hours ago. The echoes of their men fled and left me with the hollow where the living words were said. I memorized the promises, I sang the songs of zeal, but in this empty aftermath, the dissonance I feel. The flame that roared this morning is a guttering, weak light, threatened by the slightest breeze of an ordinary night. Not doubt in your existence, but doubt in my own heart that I can play the part assigned or even make a start. I feel a fraud for feeling this, a failure to the core, afraid to knock again upon a door I've knocked before. And when my faith is flickering, a candle in the gust, you don't condemn the dimming, you simply shield the dust. You cup your hands around the flame, you give it space to breathe. A guardian of fragile light, mountaintops, the vision's bold and grand, but of the mustard seed I clenched within my trembling hand. You say that even in its sleep the soil does its work, and in the hidden dormant time no promise goes to shirk. You value not the brilliant blaze that consumes itself in haste. You treasure most the lasting glow, the light that's built to taste the long and patient darkness, and still refuse to die. A testament to stubborn hope beneath the starless sky. So I will stop my frantic glow in my efforts to impress, and let your steady breathe alone my flickering faith caress. And if it goes out fully, if the final smoke ascends, you are the fire maker who a new flame always sends. A spark struck from the flint of grace, a light no dark can quench. You are the first and final fire upon my heart's cold bench. This flickering is not the end, it's just the nature of the burn. A lesson in reliance, a critical, slow turn from my own careful tending to your everlasting match that lights upon my spirit without a single scratch. Flicker, I see in the flicker you are true, steady, patient glow, growing
I used to dream of platforms, of a microphone and lights, of moving crowds with eloquence to spiritual heights. I thought my calling had to be a grand, impressive thing, with charts of growth and accolades that such successes bring. But in the quiet morning, with the ordinary sun, I see the real revival has already just begun. It's in the coffee made just right for my weary working spouse, the patience with the toddler melting down inside the house. It's in the text sent to the friend whose radio's silent gone, the choosing not to honk the horn, the letting someone on. It feels so small, so incidental, hardly ministry at all. Just living life with gentle grace and answering the call to see the human in my path, not as a soul to win, but as a chance to let your subtle, soft affection in. This is the ministry of small kindnesses, the gospel be a living, breathing, walking, talking act of grace in the most unexpected, ordinary time and place. Small kindness, holy work, where your spirit loves to lurk, in the gesture and the smile, making life worth the while. Your ministry through me, in the small that set hearts free. The world is a cacophony, a dozen scrolling feeds, a hurricane of headlines, planting worries, bitter seeds. My mind's a busy intersection with the signals all on red, a choir of competing voices filling up my head. There's the voice of comparison, the siren song of more, the anxious ticking metronome. Behind a closing door, there's the old tape of my failure on a loop inside my soul, and the critic's cold and edge, dictating to take its toll. I reach for the volume knob, but it spins without effect, a prisoner of the frequency I cannot seem to deflect. But in the eye of this tornado, in the center of the noise, I'm learning how to recognize your still and steady voice. It doesn't shout the static down, it doesn't start a war. It finds a frequency of peace my spirit's listening for. It's a sanctuary in the static, a clear channel within, a single solid signal beneath the chaos and the din. You broadcast on a wavelength of everlasting shalom, and I am tuning my heart's dial to come back home. Back home. Come back home. Back home. To the sanctuary in the static. Back home. The haven in the high. Back home. The practice is in breathing, in a conscious slow release, and turning down the inner world to letting out a peace. It's closing down the browser tabs inside my racing mind, and leaving just one window to the gentle and the kind. Your voice is not in drama, not in guilt or frantic plea. It is the solid ground beneath the churning of the sea. It says the same thing it has said since time itself began. I am with you. I am the great I am. And in that repetition,
but the bricks of be still and know, with mortar made of promises that you will not let go. I'm wired with the scriptures that speak comfort to my fear, and lighted with the knowledge that your presence is right here. When the world's transmission grows in volume and in dread, I'll retreat into this holy space you've hallowed in my head, not to escape forever, but to find the strength to be a calm and clear transmitter of your grace for all to see. Sanctuary in the stead, in the stead, a true automatic, a signal, pure and true, breaking through. Turn to heaven's station, my soul, salvation, my soul, salvation. The world is a cacophony, a dozen scrolling feeds, a hurricane of headlines, planting worry's bitter seeds. My mind's a busy intersection, with the signals all on red, a choir of competing voices filling up my head. There's the voice of comparison, the siren song of more, the anxious ticking metronome behind a closing door. There's the old tape of my failures on a loop inside my soul, and the critic's cold illusion determined to take its toll. I reach for the volume knob, but it spins without effect, a prisoner of the frequency I cannot seem to deflect. But in the eye of this tornado, in the center of the noise, I'm learning how to recognize your still and steady voice. It doesn't shout the static down, it doesn't start a war, it finds a frequency of peace my spirit's listening for. It's a sanctuary and astounded, a clear channel within, a single solid signal beneath the chaos and the din. You broadcast on a wavelength of everlasting shalom, and I am tuning my heart's dial to come back home. Back home to the sanctuary and the static, the haven in the hive, the place where my surrendered soul remembers its life. The practice is in breathing in a conscious slow release, in turning down the inner world to let in outer peace. It's closing down the browser tabs inside my racing mind, and leaving just one window to the gentle and the kind. Your voice is not in drama, not in guilt or frantic plea. It is the solid ground beneath the churning of the sea. It says the same thing it has said since time itself began. I am with you, I am the great I am. And in that repetition, in that foundational sound, the static loses purchase, loses all the ground it found. So I will build a sanctuary with the bricks of be still and know, with mortar made of promises that you will not let go. I'll wire it with the scriptures that speak comfort to my fear, and light it with the knowledge that your presence is right here. And when the world's transmission grows in volume and in dread, I'll retreat into this holy space you hold in my head, not to escape forever, but to find the strength to be a calm and clear transmitter of your grace for all to see. All are quiet, the chapel lights are low, the pastors and the praise teams have somewhere else to go. It's just the cleaners humming and the hum of the HVA, a soul too wound up for sleep, with too much still to say. And in this empty building, in the silence after praise, I feel a different presence in these ordinary ways, not in the preached conclusion, but in the searching doubt. You're clocking in for overtime to see my questions out. You're in the squeak of the janitor's car on the polished linoleum floor, in the soft, tired sigh of the one who's locking the door. You're not off duty, distant on a heavenly vacation. You're present in the graveyard shift of my soul's desperation. You are the God of the midnight shift, the shepherd of the ark, the listener to the rambling thoughts that I can't tell to God. Oh, so I thought you meet me where the polished programs in the messy, uncurated quiet, brutal honesty that comes without restriction. I bring you my unsolvable problems, my resentments deep and cold, the stories that don't fit the frame of the testimony that I told. I bring you my exhaustion with the victorious Christian life, the nagging sense of failure like a poorly balanced knife. And you don't hand me a sermon outline, you don't quote a memory verse, you just sit in the holy quiet, let my tangled soul disperse. You're not afraid of the shadows that the spotlight wouldn't show. You're working in the grayscale, making promises to grow. You are the God of the third watch, when hope is at its ebb, holding vigil with your child on a hard-cold wooden pew. And as the first light, pale and gray, begins to touch the glass, I feel the heavy burden start to suddenly, slowly pass. Not because it's answered, but because it's been received by a king who wears a work shirt, who has never been deceived. The God of the dawn is glorious, the God of the day is strong, but the God of the midnight shift, you're the one I've needed all along. For anyone can sing hallelujah in a choir's mighty way, but it takes a different kind of God to sit with me and say, the midnight shift, you never do, always on call, catching me before I fall in the quiet after hours. You show your mightiest powers. The prayer lines all are quiet, the chapel lights are low, the pastors and the praise teams have somewhere else to go. It's just the cleaners humming and the hum of the HVAC, a soul too wound up for sleep with too much still to say. And in this empty building, in the silence after praise, I feel a different presence in these ordinary ways. Not in the preached conclusion, but in the searching doubt. You're clocking in for overtime to see my questions out. You're in the squeak of the janitor's cart on the polished linoleum floor, in the soft, tired sigh of the one who's locking the door. You're not off duty, distant on a heavenly vacation. addiction. You're present in the graveyard shift of my soul's desperate search. You are the God of the midnight shift, the shepherd of the ark, the listener to the rambling thoughts that I can't tell to God. Oh, so I thought you'd meet me where the polished programs end, in the messy, uncurated space where broken people mend. When the stage is dark and empty and the crowd has all gone home, you pull up a folding chair in the silence and you say, let's talk alone. You are the God of the midnight shift, of tears, the full post benediction of the quiet, brutal honesty that comes without restriction. I bring you my unsolvable problems, my resentments deep and cold, the stories that don't fit the frame of the testimony that I told. I bring you my exhaustion with the victorious Christian life, the nagging sense of failure like a poorly balanced knife. And you don't hand me a sermon outline, you don't quote a memory verse, you just sit in the holy quiet, let my tangled soul disperse. You're not afraid of the shadows that the spotlight wouldn't show. You're working in the grayscale, making promises to grow. You are the God of the boardwalk when hope is at its end, holding vigil with your child on a hard, cold wooden pew. And as the first light, pale and gray, begins to touch the glass, I feel the heavy burden start to subtly, slowly pass. Not because it's answered, but because it's been received by a king who wears a work shirt, who has never been deceived. The God of the dawn is glorious, the God of the day is strong, but the God of the midnight shift, you're the one I've needed all along. For anyone can sing hallelujah in a choir's mighty wave, but it takes a different kind of God to sit with me and say, the midnight shift, the darker drift, always on, cold catching me before I fall. After hours, midnight crying, you show your mightiest power. The courtroom of my conscience convenes at break of day, with the prosecution ready with the charges to relay. The jury is my memory, recalling every fall. The judge is my perfectionism, who demands I give my all. The evidence is damning, compelled from years of slips. The stumble in my temper, the sarcasm on my lips. The
times I chose the easy road, the love I failed to give, the half-lived life I offered up, the selfish way I lived. I stand there in the dark with no defense to offer up, just shame that fills a bottomless and bitter brimming cup. I brace myself for sentencing, the guilty I have earned, the condemnation I have practiced, the lessons never learned. But then you stand as advocate, and silence fills the hall. You show the court your wounded hands and answer every call. You speak not of my righteousness, for there is none to find, but of the payment you yourself provided for mankind. And with a voice that shakes the very foundation of the place, you render a new verdict founded on your grace. Let the old condemning echo that says I'll never fly or be drowned out be silent by your pronouncement over me. One word from you, beloved, rewrites my history. One declaration mine sets my captive spirit free. The gavel falls with kindness, the sentence is your peace, and I stand in the courtroom with a wonder that won't cease. The prosecution's file expunged, the jury is dismissed, the judge's bench is empty now, the morning sunlight kissed. The chains that bound my wrists are gone, the record is made clean. A truth more real than any failure I have ever seen. I walk out of that courtroom not with shoulders slumped in dread, but with my head held high by what your holy word has said. No longer an defendant, but a child who's been released. A heart once bound for prison, now at your eternal feast. The trial may try to reconvene with every fresh mistake, but your pronouncement stands eternal for your own dear sake. So when the ghost of accusation whispers in the night, I'll hold up as my pardon the docket of your light, the legal document of heaven, signed in crimson ink that leaves the enemy no ground, no single stone to sink. I am not what I was, I am what you declare. I'm living in the freedom of your most devoted care. The law of the Spirit of life has set me free indeed from the law of sin and death, from its insatiable belief. In these scarred hands, not guilty, forevermore loved. To the very core, I walk in the decree spoken over me. The courtroom of my conscience convenes at break of day, with the prosecution ready with the charges to relay. The jury is my memory, recalling every fall. The judge is my perfectionism, who demands I give my all. The evidence is damning, compiled from years of slips. The stumble in my temper, the sarcasm on my lips. The times I chose the easy road, the love I failed to give. The half-lived life I offered up, the selfish way I lived. I stand there in the dark with no defense to offer up. Just shame that fills a bottomless and bitter brimming cup. I brace myself for sentencing, the guilty I have earned, the condemnation I have practiced, the lessons never learned. But then you stand as advocate, and silence fills the hall. You show the court your wounded hands and answer every call. You speak not of my righteousness, for there is none to find, but of the payment you yourself provided for mankind. And with a voice that shakes the very foundation of the place, you render a new verdict, founded on your grace. Let the old condemning echo that says I'll never fly all be drowned out, be silenced by your pronouncement over me. One word from you, beloved, rewrites my history. One declaration mine sets my captive spirit free. The gavel falls with kindness, the sentence is your peace, and I stand in the courtroom with a wonder that won't cease. The prosecution's file expunged, the jury is dismissed. The judge's bench is empty now, the morning sunlight kissed. The chains that bound my wrists are gone, the record is made clean. A truth more real than any failure I have ever seen. I walk out of that courtroom not with shoulders slumped in dread, but with my head held high by what your holy word has said. No longer an defendant, but a child who's been released. A heart once bound for prison, now at your eternal feast. The trial may try to reconvene with every fresh mistake, but your pronouncement stands eternal for your own dear sake. So when the ghost of accusation whispers in the night, I'll hold up as my pardon the docket of your life, the legal document of heaven, signed in crimson ink that leaves the enemy no ground, no single stone to sink. I am not what I was, I am what you declare. I'm living in the freedom of your most devoted care. The law of the Spirit of life has set me free indeed from the law of sin and death, from its insatiable greed. And these scarred hands, not guilty forevermore.
every chord. I walk in the decree spoken over me.